The beautiful thing about this journey, is that we all kind of grew up together, you guys have gotten to witness a lot of it. My life is kind of on full display since I was a kid, so it's been challenging to say the least, but it's been so rewarding. But I wanted to take it back. We won't get too serious, because you're gonna make me cry, but I'ma tell you one time.
Over a decade after he first took over the world, Justin Bieber just proved his name alone still shuts everything down. When Coachella announced he'd be headlining both weekends, the anticipation from fans and the general public erupted. Fans dubbed it Bieberchella before he even stepped on stage, ticket demand skyrocketed, and suddenly this wasn't just another festival, it was the comeback moment everyone had been waiting for. The stakes were huge. He reportedly got paid $10 million, the biggest Coachella check ever, just off his name and the nostalgia alone. Social media was fully tapped in, waiting to see what he'd actually do, especially once it came out that he'd be performing his old hits from over a decade ago. Now that both weekends have finished, it's safe to say Justin Bieber took over the stage and touched the hearts of those around the world. Social media erupted with viral moments from the performances, going from iconic to wholesome. Here are the top 10 moments at Bieberchella that had social media going crazy. Number 1. Nonchalant Bieber remembers who he is mid-performance. A fan favorite to say the least was when Justin performed his hit song Beauty and the Beat from his 2012 album Believe. At first he sang the verse in his usual nonchalant song voice, but once he heard the crowd singing the song back to him, he fully tapped back into his younger self as if he were singing it for the first time.
What you got? A billion could've never bought.
He brought back that Justin falsetto voice that brought him fame in the first place. Social media erupted with memes and jokes using Justin's nonchalant energy and voice, then locking in with the crowd all within the same few seconds.
Tonight I wanna show you all. What you got? A billion could've never bought.
It was such a subtle voice change, but it brought back a flood of memories from when Justin was only 18 years old, singing the song for the first time on stage. Number 2. Closer and Closer and Closer. Another adorable Bieberchella moment was when Justin was singing Daisies off his latest Swag One album. After letting anxiety take over and taking a break from the stage, Justin's smile and joy was as clear as day. He looked like he remembered who he was and why he does this in the first place, realizing his place truly is on a stage. From the joy and happiness we don't often associate with Justin, especially in recent times, this wholesome moment of Justin smiling so widely while singing the song went viral.
If I could get in, drop me a pin. How can no way become over? Don't wanna be friends, just skin. I wanna get closer and closer and closer.
Justin was so happy overall that during weekend 2, he decided to go down to the fans and let them embrace him, even grabbing a fan's hand closer to his chest. Number 3. Singing the songs that made him famous with a subtle dig at those who wronged him. Back in the late 2000s, Scooter Braun and Usher helped Justin become a global star. Scooter discovered Justin on YouTube, tracked down his mom, and flew them to Atlanta in 2008 to figure out a record deal. While there, Justin ran into Usher at the studio and at just 13 sang You Got It Bad for him on the spot.
And you said that you love her, and you really know everything used to matter, don't matter no more.
That moment ended up changing everything. Soon after, Justin was signed to Usher and Scooter's label, even beating out Justin Timberlake in a full-on bidding war. From there, Usher stayed close to Justin as his career exploded with hits like One Time. Fast forward to Coachella 2026, where Justin leaned heavily into nostalgia for his big comeback. Across both weekends, he performed his old hits like Baby, Favorite Girl, and One Less Lonely Girl, and even sang along to his original YouTube covers that first made him famous. It was a very much full circle moment celebrating where he started. But what stood out to fans was who wasn't part of that moment. Despite Usher being a huge part of Justin's early story, there was no mention of him at all. Justin skipped songs tied to Usher like Somebody to Love remix and even avoided playing visuals that featured him. Fans noticed that Justin didn't play the music video for one time because it features cameo appearances of Usher throughout the entire thing. Justin played the music video for most of the singles he performed, so him choosing not to play the music video for one time was intentional. Fans also noticed that he didn't revisit the You Got It Bad cover, the exact performance that first got Usher's attention. So while the set was packed with throwbacks and meaning, some people think the absence of Usher felt very intentional. While Justin was singing along to a younger version of himself doing a YouTube cover, he paused and said,
I just was a kid who liked to sing, you know? That was it. That was all it was. And one thing turned to another, you know? Here we are, but man, it's been a wild journey. It's been an emotional journey.
Then to solidify the rumors that he and Usher are not on good terms, Justin plays a video of himself covering Cry Me a River, and before pressing play, he says,
you know, I grew up listening to Justin Timberlake, and I remember this like it was yesterday.
If some of you may be wondering why Justin would want to take a dig at Usher or highlight others who have inspired him while completely ignoring his mentor, then allow me to explain. Over the past few years, there have been renewed conversations about how Justin was mistreated and exploited by the adults around him as a child star. Justin hasn't explicitly discussed this in detail, however he's talked openly about his mental health struggles in adulthood, describing himself in 2025 as a traumatized person. There's also a lot to be said for the fact that he reportedly cut ties with everyone who managed him during his peak pop years, including Scooter Braun. As for Justin and Usher, those two haven't publicly spoken about each other in some time. The last time they were spotted together publicly was in 2022, and it's rumored that Usher was hurt when Justin denied joining him on stage for his 2024 Super Bowl performance. Then a few weeks ago, TMZ reported that Justin and Usher got into an Oscars after-party fight. The fight was so intense it almost became physical. The only reason it didn't turn physical was out of respect for Beyoncé, the party host. This all ties back into Justin's Coachella performance because this performance was very symbolic for Justin and those fans who have supported him throughout his long journey. This was his first big performance without his old team. Justin has not done anything major in his career without his old team. So by cutting off ties with them, including Usher, who some have blamed for not protecting Justin, his comeback is more than just a return on the big stage, but rather confirmation to Justin that he can do it on his own, and he, by himself, without the big production we're used to seeing, is enough.
But I wanted to take it back. We won't get too serious, because you're gonna make me cry, but
It's why his performance of his singing his old songs didn't have any choreography or special light effects and whatnot. The entire sit down and sing along represents to Justin that he is appreciated without the smoke and mirrors. It's why for Weekend 2, Justin was more into coming off the stage to connect with the fans. Throughout the concert for Weekend 1 and 2, Justin gave shoutouts for the OG fans who remember songs like Up and for the ones watching at home.
we got a lot of people at home also watching. You know, they're in their living room, in their bedroom. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing at home? This is for the OGs right here.
Number 4. Justin makes history at Coachella. After Justin's Coachella performance, everything from the past resurfaced and people fell back into a Bieber fever frenzy. Justin held 5 spots in the most streamed albums on Spotify just in the week of Coachella alone. Swag 2 was the number 3rd most streamed album, followed by Purpose, Believe, My World 2.0, and Swag 1. He was the top artist on Spotify in multiple categories and was the number 1 most streamed artist on Spotify's global chart for 2 weeks straight. He also surpassed 130.6 million monthly listeners on Spotify for the first time in his career. He was the highest paid, highest in demand, most viewed, and most Google searched Coachella performer. Reviews were split between whether he did an amazing job or whether it was lazy, and it brought up many topics of conversation on social media. Regardless of what the general public thought, Justin's Coachella performance, as simple as it was to the average viewer, put him back at the top, reminding everyone why at just 18 years old, he was crowned Prince of Pop. Number 5. Justin pulls up memes mid-performance. You know, leave it to Justin to use his Coachella performance as the perfect time to share his favorite memes and videos. Justin continues with his nostalgia tour by playing a video of him walking into a glass door in Germany back in 2010.
This is a classic. Oh. Maybe let's run that back one more time. I don't know if you've seen it, but this is me walking into a glass door. Oh, yep, there it is again.
This video became viral 16 years ago simply because fangirls were freaking out over how silly and wholesome he is, and to see Justin playing it on the big screen randomly felt like an acknowledgement that he too remembers everything we remember about him.
Yo, what up? I just walked into that door. I don't know if you've seen it, but...
He then played the video of him berating the paparazzi guy that earned us the viral "It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business" line.
I'm a dad, I'm a husband. You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
These damn paparazzi, man, I don't know if it's really clocking to the...
I'm a human being standing around my car. At the beach. You know what I'm saying? You don't think I'm not the fucking one. Okay? Stop.
Completely in a trance of a viral video spiral, he played the original These Nuts video, as well as the video of the guy yelling about the double rainbow, all while sitting back and laughing at videos he's probably watched 10 times before. Justin sitting down at one of music's biggest festival and showcasing memes and old videos has turned into a meme of its own, with brands and corporations editing the screen behind him to fit their own set of jokes. Number 6. Iconic songs and an even more iconic crowd reaction. Although Justin spent the first 45 minutes playing songs from Swag 1 and Swag 2, he finally gave the crowd what they were waiting for by playing his old iconic songs, some of these songs he hasn't performed in over a decade and a half. Here's the OG setlist for Weekend 1. Justin wakes up the crowd by playing Baby as the first song. Obviously, it was total emotional chaos from the crowd as they sang back to Justin. Then he played Favorite Girl, That Should Be Me, Beauty and a Beat, Never Say Never, Confident, All That Matters, With You, Chris Brown cover, So Sick, Neo cover, Sorry, Where Are You Now, and I'm the One.
Is a beauty and a beat. You're who I'm thinking of. And girl, you ain't my runner-up. And no matter what, you're always down the one.
When it came to Weekend 2, Justin changed up the OG setlist, giving his other older songs time to shine. Starting with One Time and even doing the dance for it, You Smile, Up, Baby, One Less Lonely Girl with Billie Eilish, As Long As You Love Me with Big Sean, No Pressure with Big Sean, and Cry Me a River, cover by Justin Timberlake. Justin also sang Stay with the Kid Laroi during Weekend 1. He also brought out SZA and Sexy Red. I don't even have to tell you what this segment meant for people on social media and for OG fans watching at home. Number 7. Big Sean's speech to Justin. While it was iconic on its own for Justin to bring out Big Sean to play their two hit songs together, As Long As You Love Me from the 2012 Believe album and No Pressure from the 2015 Purpose album, Big Sean ended his segment with a heartfelt speech to Justin. Big Sean says, "You dedicated your whole life to this. You gave us your whole life. I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you, bro. Directly or indirectly, I think you showed us what purpose was. I gotta say, I'm so proud. I've seen a lot of the things you've gone through. I've seen you at times where it wasn't always beautiful, but you fought through it. In a world where everyone's trying to take over the world, you give over the world. People have taken advantage of you. They have taken, and never once have you turned into them. You have always been giving and finding a way to persevere." To which Justin says, "Big Sean, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for saying those words. That means a lot to me." What do you guys think about Big Sean's speech? It feels like he took the time to stand up there and tell Justin what we've all been hoping he hears from the rest of us. Number 8. Superfan Billie Eilish becomes the One Less Lonely Girl. The days of the One Less Lonely Girl tradition of bringing a random fan from the crowd to come sit on a chair while Justin sings to her are over, marking Hailey as the last lonely girl when Justin sang to her during their wedding in September 2019. That was until Coachella 2026, where Billie, who was a super fan of Justin's, was pushed by Hailey and a manager to go on stage so that Justin could sing to her. Once Justin realizes Billie is being pushed to the stage, he comes towards her singing and laughing while she runs from him and falls to the floor. Justin tickles her to get her up and finally seats her in the chair, singing in her ear and laughing at the whole situation. Justin ends the song telling her, "Only you, shawty," in the same way he did it 15 years ago.
Only you, shawty.
The funny part about this is that Billie was truly singing her heart out before blinking and suddenly being on stage. Fans trolled the moment saying, "Low-key, I know this is bigger than winning an Oscar for her." Billie, who is a megastar on her own, is a die-hard Belieber through and through. Before becoming the star we know, Billie sent Justin an Instagram DM in 2014. 5 years later, Justin replied to her and the two met at Coachella 2019. Billie couldn't believe she was meeting Justin in 2019 and the entire interaction was caught on camera. It was extremely wholesome and relatable. It was probably a full circle moment for Justin as well, because it wasn't too long ago that he was in Billie's spot, meeting an idol of his for the first time. Meeting Billie, a diehard fan who is now in her own league of talent and music, shows that Justin has been in the industry long enough, where now fans who idolized him are now stars of their own. Justin is very protective of Billie, even crying in an interview about wanting to protect her from the music industry and be there for her, whether it's to offer support or hear her out. When Justin met Billie in 2019, he responded to her DM from 2014 saying, "It's moments like tonight where I'm reminded what I mean to people. Your love for me has touched my heart. You are so special, not for what you can do, but for who you are. Remember that. I am so impressed by your aura and presence. You carry a heavy calling. You are an idol to so many. I'm excited to watch you flourish. You are beyond special. Thank you for tonight. It meant just as much to me as it meant to you." Justin and Billie's friendship has continued to flourish throughout the years. A few months later, in July 2019, Billie released a remix of her hit song Bad Guy with Justin as the feature. The cover art for the remix is a young Billie wearing a sparkly dress in her room that's covered in JB posters. Billie has continued to support Justin and has said that he always checks in on her to make sure she is heard and that she doesn't feel alone. I feel like this relationship alone between Justin and Billie shows how isolating and scary Justin's experience was when he was hitting it big. Even though Justin doesn't go into detail about his experience in the music industry, his actions toward protecting Billie are louder than words can say. After being the One Less Lonely Girl Saturday night, Billie posts a photo and captions it, "Can't stop crying." Number 9. Bieberchella got positive reviews, but also sparked a man versus female debate. Of course, the opinions and reviews of the performance alone sparked a viral conversation. In what seems like a performance set up to get Justin hate that he's used to getting from the media whenever he makes a polarizing career decision, Bieberchella was actually praised by the masses. While everyone was expecting a full choreo breakdown of Justin's old songs mixed with his new ones, no one was expecting Justin to spend the entire time singing songs from Swag 1 and 2. When it was time for Justin to sing his old songs as promised, again, everyone was expecting JB to fly down on stage as he once did. Not once did anyone think that he would pull up a chair and do a karaoke-style performance of his old songs. So why, especially after Sabrina Carpenter's brilliant Coachella performance, was this considered so iconic? For starters, the hype alone for Justin at Coachella was enough for the festival to pay him $10 million, making him the highest paid Coachella artist. He also garnered the biggest Coachella crowd. Merch sales for Justin reached over $5 million on each day of his performance, making the earnings from merch and the performance a combination of $20 million. The memes we got alone of Justin sitting on YouTube were enough entertainment for social media, and acknowledging his old songs got the crowd lit enough to make up for those who didn't know any songs off Swag. The intimate performance sat well with people, especially since we are used to watching a pop star put on a show, that a legend in the making sitting down and showing memes and singing along seems like what fans of Justin's were craving this whole time. Headlines read, "Justin Bieber, pop music's fallen angel rises again at Coachella." Bieberchella was great, actually. Bieberchella was an anti-spectacle spectacle, and it was good. So let's see why a performance that had people split in half about whether it was good or bad got praise from credible music sites. I can see how for people who are not diehard believers, this performance may seem boring or overrated. But the thing is, this performance isn't for the general public. Not really anyway. Justin is no longer trying to impress people, he's simply performing for the fans and for himself. And the fans, myself included, were eating it up. First, let's talk vocals. Nobody who hated that performance could complain about Justin's voice. It sounded better than ever, and that was something I kept seeing when reading the reviews about Bieberchella. Love him or hate him, you can't deny those vocals.
But I'll reach out my hand, begging you for mercy.
Justin's voice literally got him to where he is before anything else. It was before his looks, hair, tattoos, and even crazy headline-filled life. His voice alone makes whatever he releases sound good. Essentially, rather than performing full versions of his throwback hits, Justin sat down in front of a laptop on the stage, connecting with fans at home through the live chat and playing clips of his music videos and performances. A lot of people were calling that section lazy, but I honestly don't see it that way at all. Die-hard fans are the ones who want to jam with Justin in any way they can, whether that would be at an intimate concert or through a live chat. Him shouting at the fans watching at home shows that he knows not everyone who wanted to be here can.
We got a lot of people at home also watching. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing at home?
Plus, the karaoke segment, as funny as it is, felt like a really smart creative way to give fans the nostalgia they came for without forcing something that wouldn't feel authentic anymore. I mean, seeing Justin pretending to enjoy breaking it down in leather pants as he once did in 2012 would have just been awkward. I've seen people saying that they wanted him to go full 2012 mode with backup dancers and the whole production, but let's be real. You have to be in a completely different universe to think that 2026 Bieber was ever going to do any of that. We're lucky he was happy enough to let himself be embraced by fans and their iPhones in his face, something OG fans know is a trigger for him. Another reason why Justin's performance touched the general public is that it felt like we were watching him heal his inner child right in front of us. I don't think anyone who sees Justin freak out on paparazzi or sees him choosing a quiet life versus a chaotic one is questioning why that's happening or even getting upset with him for doing so. Thanks to recent social media conversations, people are now finally realizing how Justin was treated throughout the 2010s was insane. There were petitions to kill him at 16 years old, there were petitions to deport him, grown men and women lined up to dislike the Baby music video, making it the most disliked video on YouTube for almost a decade. He got relentlessly bullied for getting married, viral hate tweets about him and Hailey having lice, and the media only took him seriously once he left the music scene. He was just a kid then, and now he's a man. And by bringing those old videos into his performance rather than just singing the songs, he seems to want to remind us that the transition from childhood to adulthood was just as grueling as it seemed. And this is why I tell you guys, times have changed for pop stars. Just 10 years ago, the average A-list pop star was being stripped of all their rights, working a crazy schedule, and on top of that, nobody took them seriously until their prime was over. Justin's performance was well liked because it accomplished several things at once. He paid tribute to the way he first rose to success through YouTube, highlighted the way his most embarrassing teenage moments have been documented and broadcast to the public, and recreated the very familiar experience of hanging out and looking at music videos online. Now, we can't talk about this performance without comparing it to Sabrina's performance. Justin's performance sparked the man versus woman in Hollywood debate. How that if a female artist pulled up a laptop on one of the biggest shows of their career and played YouTube, they'd be eaten alive. Sabrina's efforts and Justin's efforts being played back to back triggered a lot of fans who like to highlight the differences between expectations of a woman versus a man. We put a lot more pressure on women to be effortless while being creative, attractive, talented, well-behaved, polarizing but not too polarizing, all at the same time. Demi Lovato actually has a good song about this titled Eat Me on her rock album if you want to go check that out. I'm totally with this debate. A pop girl of Justin's own stature like Miley Cyrus or Taylor Swift would have been eaten alive for this. But while I can see exactly what people mean by this, I feel like Justin is the wrong target to go after in the man versus woman debate because Justin has never had male privilege used to his advantage. For the first 15 years of his career, he was putting on show after show. It wasn't just a walk around with a mic and sing type of show either. He would recreate the music video dances on stage, and he kept that energy all the way up to the 2022 Justice World Tour. Justin also never had it any easier. The way Justin got hated on reminds me a lot of the way women in Hollywood get hated on. This is to say that it's true. There is an unfair standard towards women and men in the music industry and the acting industry. But Justin has never had any less criticism just because he's a guy. It's funny because you would think that a teenage heartthrob would easily get away with it all, considering the army of fangirls he has supporting him, but with Justin it's a rare case. And that's probably because he is the generational pop star of our time, with fame similar to Michael Jackson's and Elvis Presley. When you are as big as Justin, you're going to get more hate, more than the average pop star, because you have more eyes on you and more to prove. The argument doesn't work with Justin since he has consistently put on full-blown show with lights, dancers, and intense choreography. The reason why this performance had the green light in the first place is that he's now at a point in time where he doesn't need to prove himself anymore. What do you guys think? Give us your most honest opinion. All opinions and thoughts are welcomed here. Let's have a real conversation in the comments below. Number 10. Everything Hallelujah. A perfect way to end this top 10 video is by Justin's gratitude towards life and God. Seems pretty fitting since we discussed everything problematic in Justin's life, to now him seeming grateful for the life he has now. The song is a testament to Justin's healing and being grateful for his life, one that he was once easily taking for granted, a life that was plagued by those who used him and left him feeling all alone. This reminds me of a part in Justin's 2010 Never Say Never documentary, where he tells his team he doesn't want his life to end up like Michael Jackson's, where fame completely took over his childhood.
I remember being at the VMAs and Madonna came out to give a speech about Michael Jackson, and she said we took away his childhood. And Justin looks right at me and goes, "Don't let that happen to me."
Sad to say that only a few short years later in 2013, Justin's downfall began and his depression kicked in. Recalling all of his problematic moments really does show you how long this 10-year journey was, from doing insane amounts of drugs to being suicidal. The fact that Justin is standing on stage looking happy and healthy is a massive full circle win. Everything Hallelujah is Justin happy to be alive. In Justin's song Everything Hallelujah, he sings, "Mom and Dad, Hallelujah. Haley Babe, Hallelujah. Baby Jack, Hallelujah. Oscar Piggy, Hallelujah. Brand New Day, Hallelujah. Brush My Teeth, Hallelujah. Take a Swim, Hallelujah. Everything Hallelujah." It touched on a lot of people's hearts hearing Brush My Teeth Hallelujah because it shows these small wins of a person dealing with depression and anxiety, that something as simple and practiced as brushing your teeth could be seen as a win when you are dealing with what seems like the world's life problems. This performance with the halo above Justin's head shows a raw, intimate moment with Justin that almost feels like a prayer. He even gave Coachella a shout out saying, "Coachella Hallelujah." I think Justin went into his performance on weekend 1 with a different feeling versus how he felt after he finished and after weekend 2. This show and the crowd's reaction might have been exactly what Justin needed to go back on stage. This seems to be more of a fact when you see that one of his accounts is titled Swag Tour, which seems like there might be a swag tour coming up in the near future. What did you guys think of Justin's Coachella setlist, both the swag performances and his segment of bringing back the OG hits? As the outro to Daisies played his final song of the night, a more symbolic image formed. Bieber, his famous name, splashed across the screens, fireworks popping behind him leaning down towards the camera that is pointed at him since he was a tween, and making his signature heart hands. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the top 10 moments of Justin's performance at Coachella. If there is anything we have missed, make sure to comment that down below. We are excited to hear you guys' thoughts about everything. How did you feel about Justin's performance? Would you be willing to go to a Justin tour where he just plays music from swag? Or would you wait to see him do kind of an Eras tour like Taylor, probably 30 years from now? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.